Hello friends, in this session we are going to discuss about the Docker service commands. In this video we will focus on creating the Docker services. Once we create it, we will also learn how we can scale up, scale down the services, and after that we will see how we can update the service. So before I jump over to the terminal to learn all these different commands related to these services, let's first of all understand what exactly is a Docker service and how this Docker service command is different than the Docker run command. In the earlier sessions we have learned about the how we can run the containers, create the containers and run the containers from the Docker image. So how the Docker service is different from the Docker run command. The Docker service also runs the containers as a service. Then what is the difference? The main difference is that whatever containers you are running through the Docker services, those runs in the Docker Swarm mode. So what is basically in Docker Swarm mode? Like if you run it in the Docker Swarm mode, you have the facility, you can scale up, scale down the services, means scale up and scale down the containers. Like if you want to create the group of containers out of the same image, so that you can easily do through the services. But if you run it through as a standalone container, of course definitely you can do that also, but you have to deal with the multiple commands. So if you want to create any type of distributed environment, then the Docker services is the that you should go for. So whatever commands we will learn, so all this needs to be run on Docker Swarm mode. So we need to start that first with the help of this command. So we will going to see it soon. So another benefit, like if you run it through the service as a service, you have the feature like you can easily set the networking options, and as well as you can do the load balancing, and of course the whatever we have said, like is the you can scale up and scale down. So let me jump over to the terminal to learn all these commands related to the services. So I'm at the terminal now. So we will see first of all what are the different options available with this service command. So sudo docker service ls. So it is going to complain you that you have to start your swarm, at least you have to start the manager as a manager. So I will start the sudo docker swarm init. So it is going to start it initialize this swarm mode. In the current mode, it is now considered as a manager. So don't worry about other things. When we will discuss this, when we discuss about the swarm, we will cover these all features in detail. So for the timing, you have to just run this command to start this mode. So now let us learn the commands related to services. So I will use the sudo docker service. So let me first run with the help option to see what are the different options available with this particular commands, Docker service command. So first one is the create. With this particular option you can create the service, and once you create it, you can easily scale up the containers, like to the n number of containers. It depends upon how much resources, hardware resources is available. Then you can easily roll back to the original state. And we will also learn some of the options of this command, Docker service command, that how we can use the inspect to see what are the different parameters and other details we have provided while creating the service, and also we will try to debug these services by viewing the log, and of course we are going to use the ls to see what are the different services available and how we can remove the service once we don't need them, and also we will learn how we can update these services whatever we are going to create it. So let's run these options one by one. So sudo docker service ls. So first of all, I will see that how many number of services are available with me which are running in this particular host. So currently it is showing me that I don't have any service available in this particular host. So let me create one. So I will create the sudo docker service. What name you want to assign to this particular service? So I want to assign the name as my busybox service, and you want to create it from which image? Of course the busybox only. And what are the different arguments you want to give? Like you want to create the service, so what kind of action do you want that this container should serve it for you? So for sake of this example, we will just ping the one of our website like google.com. We will ping the this site, say. So I will use the pass the argument as ping, say google.com. So it is going to ping this site. So looks like I missed the option of create. So let me clear the screen. So I have to write the sudo docker service, that create option I missed. So sudo docker service create, then hyphen name, then my busybox and the busybox ping, then arguments you want to do this. So it will take some time to prepare this particular service. It depends upon your system speed and your internet speed. So we are creating from the busybox, so it won't take much time. So looks like it is being created. So we will use the ls command now. So sudo docker service ls. So as you can see over here that the my busybox service has been created, and it is showing us the replicas of the 1 out of 1. So indicates that I have just started only the one instance of this container as a service. From which image? From busybox. And what it is going to do, it should keep on pinging the our google.com site. So let us check this through the log option of this service command. So we will use the sudo docker service logs, then you have to give the name of the service, that is the my busybox service. So as you can see over here that it is pinging this particular site. This is basically a google.com. We will just double check it. I'm just going to copy this particular thing. I'm just copying this particular IP, and I will start my browser. In that I will paste this particular let me just do it again. So looks like this is not copied now. So as you can see over here, we got the google.com. So we are pinging this particular site. Okay, now so far what are the commands we have covered? Like we have covered this command, first command, that is how we can start the Docker swarm, and then we have learned about the Docker services, which is used to list all the services available, and then we have seen how we can create the service, and after that we have also covered that how we can check the logs of any service. Now let us learn the another command to scale up this service. Now I want to scale up this service, so what we will do, we will use sudo docker service. Which service you want to upgrade? I want to upgrade the busybox service. And how many replicas you want to create? I want to create the 4 instances. It means instead of running one instance, I want that the 4 copies of containers should be executed as a part of this particular service. So it should run. So I have not given the scale option. So earlier I missed the this option create, and this time I missed the scale. So my bad, sorry for that. Okay, so sudo docker service scale. So as you can see over here, that it is showing us the my busybox service is scaled to the 4 and it is in the running state. So looks like it is done. So we will double check it with the ls command. So I will just clear up the screen and I will do the sudo docker service ls. So from where you can see this replica, you can see it from over here, that 4 out of 4 replicas are now running. We can double check it with the log, but I'm not sure that it will, whether this will give us the quick result, because it all depends upon the system performance. So if you can see that we have pinged this from this particular google.com site from this particular node, that is the 1. It is giving us all the 1, but once it is gets executed from the other nodes, other instances, it will also give you other numbers. But it all depends, it will take some time. So maybe we will just come back again and we will try to see this. So logs may take time to update. It depends upon your system performance actually. Okay, now let us see how we can scale down these services. Now currently we are running the 4 instances as we have seen earlier. From this, as you can see it here, that 4 instances. Now I want to do a rollback. So instead of these 4, I want to again go back to the only 1 instance. So I will use the sudo docker service rollback, then my busybox service. So this looks like the rollback has been done. So we'll just double check it with the ls command. So as you can see over here, that we have done the rollback. So this is how you can use this rollback command. Now let us see how we can use the update command. Update command is used to update some of the services parameters, like I'm going to update the arguments. Earlier we had passed the argument that it should ping the google.com, but this time we will say it should ping the any other site like wiki.org website. So let's try that first. So but before that, let's cover the inspect option also, this one, inspect option. So what I will do, like I will use the sudo docker service inspect my busybox service. So it will give you all the information. So as you can see over here, that the arguments, that what arguments we have supplied over here is that we are going to ping the google.com. Now suppose I want to update this service, like instead of pinging this site, I want to ping any other website. So let me do this. So sudo docker service, I want to update this service and I want to forcefully change these values immediately. So I would use the arguments. So you have to pass the arguments as a string. So I want to ping, say, wiki.org, and you want to update which service? I want to update the my busybox service. So you have to use this command sudo docker service update, then you have to force it, and arguments, what arguments, like what changes you want to make. I want to change this service, update this service, that instead of pinging the google.com, I want to ping the wiki.org site. So as you can see that it is getting processed. That's out 0 out of 1 task is completed. So it may take some time, and once it is done, then if you check the log, you should be seeing the different address, but I think it's going to take the time. So we will use the inspect option again to double check this. So I will go over here. So as you can see over here, that we got the arguments as that it is going to ping the wiki.org. So it keeps track of all the details, even it maintains the history also here. So as you can see over here, that we got that wiki.org. So you can double check it with the logs, but I think it's won't show you immediately. So let's try this. Sudo docker service logs my busybox service. So it will take some time, and after that you can just double check it and let me know if it is not working. Then if you want to stop the docker swarm mode, if you want to leave this particular machine from this swarm mode, so you have to use the sudo docker swarm and use the say leave option, and we want to forcefully leave this. Yeah, it looks like I made the typo there. Sudo docker swarm leave force. So as you can see over here, that node left from the swarm. So this is how you can create the service. You can scale up the service, you can scale down the service. You have to just create the service with this create option. You can list it, you can scale up, you can scale down, and you can update it with this update option. You have to use the service option here, and you have to start the swarm mode, and once you are done, you can stop that. So this is exactly I wanted to cover in this particular video. If you like this video, please subscribe this and give us a thumbs up. So see you in the next video. Thanks.